Just watching this movie though, this is so funny. I wrote this that patriarchy is just massive cope. Patriarchy is just one big massive cope, like trying to cope with the fact that we are all disintegrating beings spinning millions of miles an hour on a rock through an empty abyss. You know, I hate to say it like that, but patriarchy is just a cope for that, to try and have some kind of control over something. Like, if I can control one woman, then, you know, if I can control one woman, then I can get through all of this. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying this is all men by any means, but I'm just saying a lot of this toxic, like the toxic masculinity and the stuff that they portrayed in this movie, it, to me, it was just like, damn, it was like a revelation type moment. Actually, I was like, wow, patriarchy is cope. Like, patriarchy is cope. In Barbie Land, they don't mistreat the Kens. They just don't want them. That's it. That's it. We don't mistreat you. We just don't want to fuck you. That's all. We're not going to take away your rights, take away your health care, murder you every 5 hours, you know, do all these kind of things, you know, assault you. You know what's going on. You know what's going on. They're not doing any of that. You know, the whole taking rights away, taking these things, it's just like, it's just one massive cope. Like, it's a big pill of copium. It's control. I need control. We got to get these hoes under control. And not having control is rough, man. It's hard. Um and so they fleshed out Ken's story, you know, pretty well, but I did feel like his ending was a bit rushed, and it was because they had to then do Barbie's ending after the fact. So I'm gonna address the Ken thing, and we'll just put a picture of Ken up here. Ken, all right. I really enjoyed his story. I thought it was really important. You know, especially when the Barbies took back over, when they took back over Barbie Land. You know, and look at the Kens, all right? They're so busy going to war with each other that they're not even paying attention to the things that actually matter, right? This is really reflection of real life, okay? So I feel like they started a conversation that was really good, and then it just had to end so quickly. Ken was obsessed with Barbie. He just wanted to impress Barbie. He felt like he was worthless if he didn't, if she wasn't paying attention to him or didn't want to be around him or something like that. And I hate to bring them up. I hate to bring up the Red Pill podcasters. You know who they are. But we've noticed in the past 2 years this rise of these people sitting down talking about women, worrying about women, talking about women, wondering what women are doing, okay? And it's almost like an obsession level. Like, it is an obsession level. Like, imagine having a show multiple times a week, every week, talking about what women are doing, how to control women, how to manipulate women, how to get women. Just like boom, boom. I'm just like, bro, my head is spinning. Like, why is this your whole identity? Like, don't get me wrong, there's channels that talk, give advice to women about getting men, or women talking to other women about how to deal with men. But they're way less toxic. They're way less in number. They not going viral, that's for damn sure. And these channels always have other interests. Like, they always talk about different types of things. If I can think of, like, the channel Chloe, she talks about relationships, she talks about dealing with men, but she also talks about, like, women and our family issues, friends issues, um, femininity, staying in your peace, like bettering yourself. Like, it's not just one thing. Like, I am a YouTube junkie. I'm a YouTube junkie, and I can't think of a single channel that I follow by a woman, okay? There are men that are doing this, but by a woman where all she talks about episode after episode after episode after episode talks about men. And especially talking about men in such derogatory ways. Where if you go into the comment section, you see really hateful, violent, gross, scary things. Okay? Scary comments that are then have hundreds, if not thousands of likes on them with 100 other just as hateful comments in agreement. Like I am a internet junkie, like I said, chronically online. You don't see it. A lot of it will be like, the worst of the worst shit is like, we hate men. I hate men. We need to stay the hell away from them. Not on the other side where it's like, these, they deserve to be, and this, and then, and this, and like, don't believe, you don't, it's not the same for the most part. So I felt like it was really good and really important how they had this conversation about the obsession with women and what women are doing. Okay. The whole pro-choice thing or whatever. Okay, if you want to be pro-life, 100% get that. Why take away the right and the choice from everyone? Why force your beliefs? Why do you feel like you have to force it on people? Instead of, why not putting your energy, your effort, your money, which y'all have plenty of it to do this stuff, into avoiding it from happening in the first place? Instead of trying to chop off the leaves, attack it at the root and educate. That's what stops, the need to have abortions anyway. I know I'm getting into this type of stuff. But the whole point I'm trying to say that is that it's about control. It is about control. The second that Ken thought that he found a way in the real world of how he could exact control over Barbie, he was like, oh no, we got to bring this back. We got to bring this back. We got to bring this back to town. This is my house. This is my town. You can't do anything. You can't push us out because we're stronger than you. And we're in charge. It's about control. And so, in the very end, when Barbie is talking to Ken and she's telling him, listen, you're not just Ken, you're Ken. I'm Barbie. It's not Barbie, what'd she say? It's not Barbie and Ken. It's basically like, I'm Barbie, you're Ken. Like, not making them have to be joined together. And like, for example, Ben Shapiro took this as meaning like, oh, women need to be single, women want to be single, like that's da 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 da. Well, yeah, sure, there's probably a lot of women who just literally just want to be left the hell alone. I can understand that. But the whole message was that you're a human being, I'm a human being, we're individuals. Don't base your worth, your life, your dream off of whether you can possess me or not. And I was like, oh shit, that is really good. Like they killed it on that message. They really, really killed it. Because like I said, it's an obsession with these guys. Like, they make these videos, these podcasts and stuff, like trying to explain for you how to manipulate women into possessing them. And, this movie says like, dude, be your own man. Okay? Being with me, being with a woman does not define you. It doesn't make you less of a man if you're not with someone. And that's a big thing too, because, a lot of, you see these violent incel things happening, and like these guys, it's just like, they're just so obsessed with, getting some coochie. It's like rules their entire fucking life. Did you think that you're not even a human think you're less of a man. You're not a man. You're weak. You're this, that, because you cannot attain it, acquire it, because no one will give it to you. You know what I mean? And like women are being actively killed over this kind of stuff. Okay. So it was a really, 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 really good message. I was like, okay, yeah, you got me with that one. Like that was a nail on the head right there, because that was a conversation that needed to be had. You know, Ken's whole identity revolves around what women, specifically Barbie and other Barbies, what they think of him, what they think of him. You know, he was going crazy with his constant worrying about other dudes talking to Barbie. Like, I'm like, this is real. Like, this is really, really, really in the real world shit that's happening. This is not some fake stuff. Like, constantly worried about other guys potentially possessing her, talking to her, liking them. When they had the campfire and they were doing the song and like they were all singing the same song to the girl, that was so crazy. That was so crazy. That was actually really good. That was really funny. But like he was just looking into her eyes, and like the narrator was talking about how he just, or no, Gloria was, when she was explaining the plan, and he was like, his ego was just, you could see his ego was just like fucking like, I don't know, American flag on the moon, man. Oh well, I guess it doesn't blow, right? But it was just strong, okay? It was strong. His ego was going strong because he was like, yeah, I got this. I got this bitch right here on this beach towel. I'm singing to her and shit. Look at her. She falling in love with me. Like, and then it was like, when he thought she wasn't paying attention, she was talking to another guy. He just fucking went insane. And so, yeah, I'm just really glad that they had that message. I think it's really important that boys, young boys, you know, especially if there's any young boys watching this movie, to know that, you know, and this is how they portray men in movies, right? How they always have, like, he chases, he chases, he chases, he chases. He's rewarded when he gets the girl. Like, finally, he's achieved her. And it's like, you know, maybe a lot of these people that are criticizing the movie, they would have liked Ken to finally achieve Barbie. He captures Barbie. He makes her settle down. He humbles her. He gets her pregnant. You know, it's like, that's the ending that they would have liked for the movie. But it's like, no, we not talking about, we don't, but that's not Barbie. Barbie is just like, I don't know. Like, I mean, we used to make them do stuff, definitely. But like, Barbie's, I don't want to say she's asexual, but she's like, she's just in her own Barbie world. You know, she's a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. She's just doing her own thing. And, you know, Ken should not see it as like a slight against him, because he's Ken, and Ken should be in his world doing his Ken thing. And they could be friends or they could not. And, you know, all the Kens, they just live together in the community. People want to get together, they get together. But don't base your whole fucking identity off of whether you're able to achieve. You know, they make it this kind of game, this kind of chases, whatever. It's just like, that's not what life's about. I think that it's really important for young boys, teens, young men to know that, because you're going to be very, very disappointed. And it's not even just because of this modern era, but the fact is, you know, it's just, you're just putting yourself in a bad position, man or woman, to make another person your entire world or happiness, or putting a relationship as like the entire end all be all to your life. And I'm saying this as someone, it took me a while to realize that. It was something I kind of came to terms with within the past 1 to 2 years. You know, going through the situation with my dad, going through a situationship that went on for way too long, you know. It's just like another situation that shouldn't have happened. And it just, yeah, you gotta focus in here, you know. You gotta focus on you and figure out who you really are. And I thought that was a good message. I think that was a good message for Ken. And yeah, I think that's good. That's good. I've pretty much said it all. I'm going on in my notes about Ken again. But it's sad that a lot of these guys, these people criticizing the movie are too dense to see that. Like, they didn't even take a second to think about. They didn't take a second to think what else could be going on. Like, nothing. You got nothing? Nothing else? Okay. It's just women bad, men good. Women hate men. Bar humbug. That's what you got from the movie? Okay. Whatever. Yeah, they talked about Ken, about how hard it was to lead. They could have leaned into that a little bit more. But you know what? We hopefully there's some non-toxic male that can tell that story and tell it soon. Quickly. Come on, quickly, quickly, quickly. Tell that story and tell it soon, okay? And why don't you use one of your major toys to tell that story? How about that? You want to use Barbie to tell this? Use a boy toy use a movie, a Lego movie. How about that? Use a movie that all the boys want to see and tell that storyline. Okay? Expand on that because they put it in there and it's like it was good, but it's like I want to see that storyline more flushed out because that was a good thing without it being overbearing. Like without the movie being like I said, women good, men bad. Like, the movie wasn't that either. This movie had a great commentary about men dedicating their whole lives to chasing women. Men need to discover and live for themselves without the pursuit of women. Who are you as a person? Ken and Barbie doesn't mean Ken with Barbie. Ken and Barbie are their own people. Great message. Great, great, great message. And it doesn't mean that they can't come together. They can absolutely come together. But you got to know yourself first. And don't allow yourself to get sucked, to make your whole identity about another person.